how did you create Lalo Salamanca?
Because it's fun. Because it's a fun, good movie.
So you did get feedback from Ridley Scott on the film?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Anything you can tease about the future of Daredevil Born Again?
Yeah, there's a lot of gas kicking. But there's a very big difference between saying, you know what, I'm going to kill you, or, you know, I'm going to kill you with a smile.
Well, thank you so much for your time. It's a real honor to get to speak with you today.
No, thank you, Sean, for your time, actually. Thank you very much.
So you've been a part of several massive franchises over the last several years with the MCU, Breaking Bad verse. What drew you to Trap House? Was it the script, the tone, the chance to do another complex character? What was it?
I mean, it was a couple of things. First of all, I think it was just Dave was a big fan, I guess, from Better Call Saul. So they just called me up and said, "Hey, listen, you want to do this?" Which is wonderful, you know, because you like to get recognition for that kind of stuff. And then it was, you know, I got to film with Kate, who I'd done something before a long time ago. We worked together. She's a good friend of mine. Back to Albuquerque, which is where we did Better Call Saul. It just seemed like a win-win situation.
Mm-hmm. And kind of along those same lines, where on Better Call Saul, MCU, those are established universes with a big lore that was going on before you were there and continued on afterwards. What are the advantages and disadvantages of doing kind of a standalone story where it's entirely self-contained with your character? I
mean, that's usually the way things were being done back in the day, you know? I mean,
right.
Just one story, you get there, you do your stuff, and either you get killed or you don't, but that's the end of it. So I mean, it's good. It's good to be back to the basics, you know, not aspiring to, oh well, maybe there'll be another and this or that. It's just one good story. Just get it over with, do it, enjoy yourself, and go on to the next.
Mm-hmm. And so, with a character like this that's just so ruthless that it's easy for him to become one-dimensional, what did you do to try and kind of find the multiple dimensions to the character? Did you build out a backstory, think through that? Did you work with Kate to kind of develop that rapport and everything like that?
Well, yeah, I mean, I always do some sort of backstory, which we actually, you know, I spoke with Michael Dowse, excuse me, with Michael Dowse, the director from before, a couple of times, and also with, you know, Gary Scott Thompson, Tom O'Connor, the writers. Just a little bit to get an idea of where this guy was coming from, where my character Benito was coming from. And Kate and I, you know, we have good chemistry together. We've worked together on several occasions. So we just kind of started playing off of each other. I mean, it's good fun, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm. I talked with the younger cast yesterday, and one of the things they talked about is how they had a lot of improvisation on set to try and get the rapport and banter of kind of the dynamics between all of them to feel kind of lively. Did that go the same way with you and Kate, and kind of a little bit of kind of free form and trying to find the relationship there, or was it all kind of stick into the script?
No, it did. You're right. We did kind of start finding the scenes when we were there. You know, since the characters are Mexican, that we didn't know how much you speak in Spanish, how much these guys are going to speak in English. And like I said before, Mike and we had talked about it. And, you know, I think it's just better if you speak in English because it's more understandable. It's American, mm-hmm. You know, it's just, but, you know, you throw in some stuff in Spanish and here or there just so that people don't forget where you're from. And I think it worked out pretty good.
Speaking of working with Michael, how does he kind of work with you guys to kind of guide the performance, find the characters, and what does that relationship look like?
Mike's the best. He's a super sweet guy. He's huge, but he's a really nice, very sweet, kind man. And, you know, he's open to suggestions and he's open to ideas. And he makes you feel very comfortable on the set so that you can sort of explore different, you know, facets of the character and of the story, which is the best thing that you can do for an actor.
Was there a specific memory on set that was like a favorite memory of working with him, or something that kind of sticks out?
Yeah, there's a scene where I'm walking around and I'm kind of scolding everybody in this big living room. And I mean, it was late at night and there was a lot of guys there. And Mike and I were kind of saying, okay, so how much of this do we where do I yell? Where do I tone it down? And we kind of walked it through, and he was very, he was very kind. He listened. He said, okay, why don't we try one of your, oh, that's a great idea. Let's do that. And, once you have one of those things going on, you feel very comfortable about what's going to happen in the rest of the movie, because you don't show up to the set with sort of like a shield or anything. You're a little more comfortable to be able to throw out ideas and just, for them to be well received.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think kind of sets apart Trap House from other movies kind of in this genre? What makes it distinct and pop?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's what genre is it? It's because it's a little bit of everything. There's action. There's some kids getting into trouble. You got Dave there, who's a monster. So I mean, I think it's kind of in its own little world, which is what makes it. It's not Spy Kids, but it's not Mission Impossible, and but it's both. So it's I think it's going to work out great, to be honest with you. That's one of the things that drew me to it from the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was talking with kind of the cast, the director about how normally kids are the damsels in distress. And in this one, they're the ones that are going after the cartel, setting everything in motion. You're like, well, that's a different angle.
Yeah, those guys are the ones that save the day. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Kind of completely different note. Like many people, I would perceive of Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad versus some of the best television that we've ever received, ever. And the characters are so good. And I can't think of a single character in the history of movies, television that did such the balance of being so disarmingly charming and terrifying at the same time as Lalo Salamanca. And coming in so late into a universe and immediately like, who is this guy? What on earth is this? What is that process of creating a character? Because obviously they've written so many great characters, but that is so you and your ability to pull that off. How did you create Lalo Salamanca?
I mean, well, it was a bunch of things. To begin with, I mean, the credit is due to all the writers, the great team of writers. I mean, to begin with Vince and with Peter Gould and Gordon Smith. I mean, there's just a bunch of guys there that were top notch. Tom Schnauz, the directors, all those guys were they were already sort of in their own sort of universe, which was. Mm-hmm. It was interesting because you walk in there, you're kind of the new kid on the block, and it's kind of like, well, okay, let me try. And I kind of saw that everybody in the Breaking Bad universe and in Better Call Saul, when they were the bad guys, they were bad because the lines were written for them to say, hey, I'm going to find you, I'm going to kill you. And I figured, I saw this movie a long time ago called, I think it's called Elizabeth with Kate Blanchett and Shekhar Kapoor. And in the director's commentary, where they used to do those on the DVDs, mm-hmm. the Shekhar Kapoor convinced Jeffrey Rush to do the movie because he said, look, this guy kills with a smile. And that always stuck with me. And I said, I hope I get to do that one day, where I get a guy that the lines are written that he's a bad guy, but there's a very big difference between saying, you know what, I'm going to kill you, or, I'm going to kill you with a smile. The actions are going to be the same because they're already written, but the intention and the charm of the character just becomes like, what the hell's going on? And I kind of started going with that. And at first they were kind of freaked out. Even Bob was like, are you going to do it like that? And I'm like, yeah, well, I'm trying that out. Well, okay, well, we're not doing things like that, not in a bad way, just kind of like, well, that's weird. And then it kind of fit in perfectly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just immediately you're like, oh, I like this guy. Wait, this guy's the worst. I don't know what to make of these weird feelings.
Exactly. Yeah. Like the Joker or something like that, It's
mm-hmm.
like
Exactly.
They're just kind of psychotic.
And then kind of moving from that, you went from playing Lalo, and because we're still playing Lalo, and then you kind of moved over to the MCU, where you played a character that was very mysterious and almost had that borrowed fear because you didn't know what Swordsman was up to. And he turns out to be a hero in it. Did you enjoy playing against expectations in a sense of having a character that actually turned out to be heroic and wasn't the villainous spin?
Yeah, thank God, man. It was sort of like the red herring. I loved it. I thought it was great because, sometimes you just get typecasted and you're just the bad guy. Mm-hmm. So for them to sort of take a chance on me and make it go the other way, which was great. I'm still doing that character. I mean, mm-hmm. What's it called? The Daredevil comes out next year, and and I'm all over that one, which is great. I mean, that's speaking of things that just keep on going and going. I'm also grateful for that as well, you know.
I don't know. You can't say anything specific. Anything you can tease about the future of Daredevil Born Again?
Yeah, there's a lot of gas kicking. I got bruised like you have no idea. Like after my last day on the set, I was in bed for like 2-3 days, and I'm not even kidding. I had bruises on my back. I had bruises on my, because they don't mess around with the action over there. It's like, okay, we're gonna follow you, and you're gonna be punching that guy, and then you're gonna jump over there, and we're gonna keep following you. You think you can do this? And what are you gonna say? No, let's get the other guy to do it. You're like, yeah, let's do it. You know.
So yeah, Daredevil from Netflix was like my favorite show of the last decade. Better Call Saul is just one of my favorite shows of all time. So you joining in and saying everything you just said, that just sounds like all worlds colliding into awesomeness to me.
That sounds good. Good. I'm glad I made your day.
And one final note on all of this: why should people go check out Trap House this month?
Because it's fun. Because it's a fun, good movie. I mean, you know, it's let's remember that, you know. Sometimes we go to the movies to have a good old time, you know, bring the family. There's kids, it's for adults, it's for everybody. It's just a good, fun movie, man.
Thank you so much for your time. I truly mean it. Better Call Saul is one of those shows I rewatch every single year, and you are an incredible piece of making that amazing. And my wife and I had a great time watching Trap House as well.
Oh, well, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
So while watching the movie, I didn't realize this, but it's a Scott-free production. How did that collaboration kind of come about for this specific film?
I think it came from Dave, and I think honestly, I think the producers are both fans. I'm gonna Millwall they're both English, and there's a Premiership relationship in terms of their fanship, and I honestly think that's how it came together, is that they both cheer for the same soccer team. I'm probably butchering that. I think Dave and Mark Goldberg and Scott Free, it predated my involvement in the film, but when I got involved, Scott Free was involved, so I think it went back in development. I think they were partners for a long time, but I was thrilled to work. I mean, Ridley Scott is a hero of mine, and to get notes from Ridley Scott was a marvelous thing for me, for sure.
So, I mean, that was my next question. So you did get feedback from Ridley Scott on the film?
Oh yeah. Yep. I mean, it was it's pretty amazing to get feedback from him.
Do you have a favorite film of his?
Do I have a favorite film? Yeah, it's Alien.
Great pick. Mine too. Kate, you've played a number of powerful and dangerous women before. And in the case of this movie, how did you and Michael work to make sure that this character didn't come off just one dimensional, where there's a version of it where she could just come off as the hunter tracking down the DEA agents, but there's a little bit of layers to it. How did you build out the character like that?
Well, actually, that was one of the challenges, of course, for me, you know, doing a different character of one that I've done a couple of times before. But it was already different on the paper. You know, when I read the script, I loved it because it has so many layers, and not only the character, but the whole movie. It has a little bit of comedy, but it's an action movie, but it's also very dramatic, and and it gets to you in so many ways. So I think I just got there because they were already shooting, and it's like I'm the new one here when the first day of class, and I was very welcome, and it was already going on. It was a ship that was already on the ocean, and I just jumped in, and it was very easy. And Michael is a great director that knows exactly what he wants, but he directs you and guides you in a great way that you can also feel free to improv and to do whatever you prepared, and then everything happens.
So one of the fun things about the basic premise of the movie is that you, as the teenagers in the film, aren't just hostages that are kidnapped passers, but you're the proactive ones that actually kick things into motion, committing crimes and everything like that. What was the most challenging or the fun part of getting in on the action and actually robbing cartels and everything?
It really was quite a rush shooting all of those scenes. I think like the adrenaline pump that I got from pretending to rob a trap house was actually a little bit alarming. It made me very, very happy and very energized.
So that's why you want to be the planner, because you started thinking through, man, maybe I should start doing this.
Yes, and I honestly feel like, I don't know, now that I've seen the movie, I'm like, maybe I could pull that off. No, 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 nope, nope. I'm going to take that back. I take that back.
Sounds like fun. Did you guys do your own stunts? What did that look like of your participation in the actual action itself?
I actually did. I don't know about you guys. I feel like Whitney and like Sophia and Jack had stunt doubles. I did not have a stunt double. And it was cool. Like, I really did not mind doing my own stunts. I was like, I'm just going to get in there and get in the paint and figure it out. But yeah, jumping in and out of that truck was a little physically taxing. But otherwise, I was doing a lot of my own stunts, and that was cool. I thought that was so fun because it's a different process, almost kind of like when they're preparing you on set to do your own stunts. So, yeah, I mean, there were like stunt specialists there telling you how to do the stuff, but still, it was pretty fun to be involved.
Well, especially on a movie like this, where normally the teenagers are just, damsels in distress. They're the people getting kidnapped. And in the case of this, they're the ones that kick everything into motion. They're the one driving everything.
Yeah, there's a certain wish fulfillment for sure. As a teenager who, designed bank heists with my friends that we never committed, I thought, it spoke to me in that sense of like, if you're in that situation, I thought there was a very plausible why not in that script of like, what would happen if you explored that. And so it was fun to sort of play around in that world and go into those heists and fill them with mistakes and make them feel plausible that the teens could actually just barely pull it off.
So your characters are the kids of DEA agents, and the whole movie hinges on the audience kind of buying into the bond of your friendship and the lengths that they'll go to defend someone else in the group. How did you go about trying to build out that chemistry amongst each other? Did you spend time offset together? What did that look like?
Yeah, I think we wanted it to come very organic. We didn't want it to feel forced on screen. So we just tried to not force it in real life and just took the time to get to know each other. We had like 2-3 weeks of pre-production where we played games, went to dinner, got lunch together all the time. Me and Whitney were like watching movies together. Like she was putting me on to like French films at 3 a.m. So we were having a lot of fun, just getting to know each other.
Cooking a little bit. It was good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She was cooking for me and stuff. Like the food was good. So we just spent a lot of time with each other just to get to know each other and have that camaraderie at least.
Yeah. It was very easy. Like, you don't often get the opportunity to, other than like when you're in school, to be put in a town where there's really nothing to do with a bunch of other people with like shared interests who are all really cool in their own ways, and like just have time to like get to know each other and do fun stuff and like play games. So it felt easy and good.
A lot of your interactions specifically are over video chat with them throughout the whole bulk of the middle of the movie. Were you watching video of them? Were they present on set? How did you kind of make it feel like an organic conversation?
There was always somebody reading. I wasn't watching videos of them, but it was actually, I was worried I was going to be like miming a phone or something, but they did where they were. I did just have a phone. So I did just feel like I was on FaceTime, until the point where there was, my cousins were meant to be throwing a bunch of stuff at me, and it was just a bunch of crew members sitting in the room and crouching, throwing random stuff at my head. So that felt not realistic, but otherwise it was okay.